Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. So today is not Legos, today is a card build kit. It is, we've got a Star Destroyer and we've got a TIE Defender. Let's see, I kind of want to do the Star Destroyer first. Let's get some tools in here to start breaking this apart. So you may notice that these bits have been 3D printed. They did not come with instructions, and yes, I do actually need to get some flush cutters because these are not the right tools. They do work, but they are not the right tools. Let's see, get you in there, snip that, snip that. Ooh, almost got more than I meant. There we go. Got that. So many little bits. So some of you may remember back in the day, this was the only way model kits came at an affordable rate. Let's see. What this is copying is those injection molded sets that you get from the hobby store. And these are not injection molded. They are 3D printed. If you look very closely, you may actually see a bit of the fancy new 3D printer that has joined the workbench. Those little orange bits up above? Yep, that's the new 3D printer, which I think I'm gonna take a moment while I cut through these bits and see about bringing in the footage of this being printed. Now, be aware that it is not the highest quality. It was captured with a webcam, which is okay. If that's all you've got, that's all you've got. Let's see. These will just bend right off. There we go. And I'm not sure, this didn't come with instructions, so I'm not sure how relevant all of the bits are. There we go. Got our empty frame, can discard that. So let's get these last little bits apart. Okay. These were printed in the Prusament PLA, so fancy stuff, and I think that these probably go something like that. Maybe even like this. Let's see, what part is this? This is the top. See if we can get you to slide into your channel. Maybe it's easier to start with the bottom. And as always, especially on those injection molded kits, there are little extra bits that need to be trimmed. Start with the bottom. Should be able to get that. You know what? Maybe we slide one side in and then the other. There we go. There's one side in, and it's not quite right. There we go. That looks much better. Then we will repeat over here. Oh, it's a little bit from the card that's getting in the way. So we should be able to bend this up and at a little bit of an angle, get that to slide in. And worst case scenario, if something breaks, I printed it on a 3D printer. I can just print another. Very tight fit. Very, very tight fit. Okay. So that has started our shape. And in hindsight, that's probably upside down. maybe I should have glued it. You know what? I think I've got some glue not too far away, so I may go grab that if this doesn't shape up fairly quick. Oh, it's shaping up. It's shaping up. Right, nice. There we go. There's the bottom. Let's see. The top likely goes next. Just got to make sure that it slips into the right portion on both. Maybe. Is it the big one? It doesn't go in the big one. It may go in the big one. No, the big one doesn't have any angle, and it doesn't go quite far enough back, so it's got to be this one. So if you do have a 3D printer and you go onto Thingiverse, well, that is definitely it. Just got to get both sides to cooperate at the same time. If you've ever put one of these together, I'm sure you can understand. Oh, there we go. Should be able to slide all the way back. Oh. Just got a little bit of roughness from the print that's holding us back. Let's see if a little bit of bending gets us there. It may not. Maybe having some sandpaper would be a good idea. No, not going to use that. Don't want to break it. Just have to get it past. A little bit of tightness. Oh, that's a scary click, but it is actually making it. Let's see. So that's going to go on the back there. Let's do a little bit of cleanup on all of these other bits to make future wonsnots work just a little bit easier. Where might you go? That one actually came out fairly clean. It's a little interesting where we get the little bits that build up, because it's different. It's going to be different on every single one. Yeah, there's a trend on Thingiverse, at least, where these kits have come back into style. Now, if only we could get you to slide back just a little bit more. You know what? We may come back in just a moment after I slide this back out, clean it, see if we can get a little bit deeper. But yeah. And we're back. We've got it in. Turns out the key to the whole thing was getting this piece in first and wiggling back and forth just a little bit. Let's see, we should actually be able to cram this in here now. Actually, in hindsight, that maybe should have gone in first. Oh boy, this is going to be an adventure. So we've got it in the top. Yes, and you can't see it, but off camera, super glue. I have super glued these two pieces together, so they're never coming apart. But that would give us the direction that we need to get this in there. There's basically no way to cram it in from the side either. Although, maybe, with just enough flex. Hey! So if you did a dumb like me, and you forgot to put that in first, before you super glued things together, before you put the other bits in, you can actually cram that in from the side. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Okay, so let's see, which deck? Probably the bigger deck. Yes, that looks nice. Oh, that's hard. Ah, there we go. Almost all the way back, but I think that may be as good as that's going to get. Then this deck, which the deck below has actually made things just slightly more complicated by squeezing this space. So maybe, just maybe, with the right angle, I can get it. See, it is squoze in right there. Maybe if I come in from the top. Oh, it's promising. It's very promising. That's not right. That's not straight. Yeah. Don't think this is an issue with the printer. It's probably just an issue with the assembler. I don't know if you can tell, but I can see just the tiniest whiff of daylight. I may have to remove that. It's not going to be a fun time, but I may have to remove that little piece that is offending. Oh, there we go. I just have to make sure it comes over to the right far enough and doesn't snap in half. Well, and that is why we have super glue. Let's see if we can get it into that channel where it's supposed to be, and we will super glue it. What's weird is the channel on the right that was giving me the most trouble is the most open. Yes. Once again, I'm going to blame that on the assembler, not the print or the model. There's definitely some cleanup I could have done from the get-go that would have made this oh so much easier. These keep bumping the tripod. Sorry about that. These channels could be ever so slightly wider, and it would make things so much easier. But yeah, that's not going to work. We may have to print this again and try again later. But that's okay. That's the way things go, and that's one of the wonderful things about 3D printers, is that, hey, you broke the thing that you like? Don't worry, we can just print you a new one. Yeah, and this bit here has been a real pain. I think all of these bits glue together. Yes, I do believe so. I think that's got just enough flex at all the points. But anyways, so this piece here, fairly obviously, slides in at the top here. See if we can get that in. We'll worry about that other deck on the reprint. And if you like it enough, we'll make a video on the reprint. Yeah, how is that supposed to work? That's going to take some sandpaper, I think, because that does not seem to be warped in any way. It just doesn't want to go in. But yes, some sandpaper is due for this model and a reprint, which is coming on down the pipeline if you want it. If not, we'll leave it as is. I will clean it up, and I will make it nice, and I will glue it together for me, and all will be well. Anyways, let's move on to the tie defender. Here we go with our tie defender. This is made by Fix'em Dude on Thingiverse, so this model will be different. Oh, it clips so much cleaner than the Star Destroyer. Oh, so few pieces are actually stuck together. This one, I don't remember having come with plans either, but that's okay. Yes, definitely. This model designer has definitely thought about how this goes together, or how this comes apart, I should say. Let's get these cut off from the main body, and we should be able to move them just a little bit better. So what they would be in a injection molded kit would be a sprue. Let's take a look at these. No, they do not have a central beam, so that will be fine. And with how easy that snips through, fairly confident that was correct. But yes, where the plastic comes in on these kits, on the original style kits, that sprue, which is what it's called, where the plastic comes in, is actually quite a bit thinner. It tapers, so it comes apart quite a bit easier, which is, I think, the difference between this and the Star Destroyer. But it's only like 3 hours of my life that is gone down the drain. No, not really. It's I've got Octoprint set up on the 3D printer, so it's really just a look over at the webcam every couple of minutes to make sure it hasn't turned into a big ball of spaghetti, and let it do the thing that it does. Okay, so let's see, how does this go together? So we've got our central body. There we go, last little bit. So on the central body, it seems as though these clip in here, and they clip in quite nicely. Oh yeah, oh very yes. And we get rid of what's left of the fake sprue. Yeah, for the next print, I really like pulling the bits out like this. I know it's a fake sprue, but still. Ooh. Ooh. Is that how that goes? I think that's how that goes. And I think this goes on the front. Yes. And then goes in. Yes. That's definitely how that goes. Unless this goes on the other side. Nope. I feel like that was correct the first time through. Okay. Yes, it's definitely right the first time through, because we've got this bit that clips in the very, very back. So there, we've got the main body assembled. We should be able to just grab whichever one of these fits best and click these in. Did that really click in that easy? There's no way, but it did. I may have messed up a few times and called this an interceptor, but it is a defender. That seems inaccurate, the way that goes on. Maybe they go in like so. Yes, yes. Those of you who are massive Star Wars buffs are already yelling at the screen for how did you build an interceptor wrong, or defender wrong? And to be fair, this may actually be the first defender that I've paid attention to, because I saw it and I was like, I haven't seen that before, let's make one. Oh yeah, that looks great. That clicked in great, that looks great. Okay. So, once more, clicking into the bits. Like, this one requires no glue. Like, glue would probably help a bit. And they're not like Legos, where they can be repurposed. It is a single-purpose deal. That's not right. How does that goes like this? Okay. It is amazing. That's got to go there. So there is some directionality to it. Or I'm just blind, which it could be one or it could be both. Oh yes. Oh very yes. Like, this may actually be better than the kits that I remember growing up, as far as like how easy it is to actually assemble and how solid it is after assembly. There we go. And we can't credit my 3D printer on that, because as we saw on that Star Destroyer that did not go so great, that this is a more well-designed kit. I'm sorry, dude who designed the Star Destroyer, but fix him, dude. Knows what he's doing when he makes a kit. So I may actually go through with just the tiniest dab of super glue at each of these joints, because that feels a little loose. I can fix that. Just to make sure it stays together. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. I think that's really friggin' cool. And if you've got a 3D printer, you should print this. For me, it was like 3 or so hours. By far, one of the coolest things that I have 3D printed, and this will live on my desk. Thank you for joining. Well, it looks like that's going to do it for us today, guys. I wanted to say thank you for hanging around this long. If you did and you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. Just so you don't miss out on any of the other cool stuff coming on down the road. If you'd like to hang out with us, please hit us up on Discord. Link is in the About section on the channel, or you can go to discord.wonsnot.com, and I will see you guys in the next one.